Lockdown day 23, 25. I don't know. I'm not bored. I don't get bored. I have things to do. But staying here all by myself the entire time kind of sucks. Before all this crazy thing started, I ordered something from Amazon and it arrived the day before the lockdown started. I didn't want to talk about it like here, like locked in. I wanted to go to a park. I wanted to go to, downtown with some beautiful buildings with beautiful architecture, but since it looks like it's not gonna happen anytime soon, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing, I'm gonna show it to you. It's a gimbal. Let's go inside. So here we are. I just wanted to tell you that the reason why I'm so excited is because for the past year I have been using a manual gimbal, like a Steadicam or something like that. I don't even know what to call it. Pretty heavy, it takes forever to balance, not practical at all. But I mean, still it was better than nothing. But now I got this, the Moza Aircross 2. It comes in this box with the handle, and when you open it, you find the case. It's a foam injected case, and it feels so good and so light, and everything is packed in here. Relatively small, I think it's perfect for traveling. First thing we find in the case, a pouch with the Moza logo, and inside you will find all the cables you will possibly need to connect your camera or cameras or whatever. Awesome. The stand, it feels really nice and comfortable. You can open it and use it as a mini tripod for the gimbal. So you can put it down, then when you're done you pick it up, you close it, and you carry the gimbal like this. Feels good, it feels sturdy, very good quality, not bad at all. The battery, it's supposed to last up to 12 hours. We will see about that. And the good thing about this battery is that you can charge it with the cable even directly from the gimbal. Now we have the gimbal. This is the money, the gimbal. And first thing, I connect the battery, and that's the grip. It feels really comfortable, so good, so nice. And what's really good about this gimbal, in my opinion, is first of all, you can lock all the axes so they don't swing around, and you don't risk to ruin the gimbal, to damage the gimbal when you transport it, let's say in your backpack or camera bag, or even when you're just holding it with or without the camera on the top. You lock them all and you're fine. The axes don't go anywhere. Top. Another thing that I like about this gimbal is that the back motor doesn't block the view of the screen of the camera. This motor doesn't cover the view. So you can always monitor, you can always see what happens from the screen. That's a very well thought design feature. At the bottom, there are two different holes where you can either put the stand or a different hole that makes it possible for us to put the gimbal on a bigger tripod or on a monopod. Imagine what you can do with this on a monopod. Mind-blowing. Put this here. feels good, feels comfortable. The weight of this gimbal is like 2 pounds, more or less, like 1 kilo. And the payload would be, they say, like 7 pounds, meaning like 3 kilos and 200 grams. Well, we will see about that. It's supposed to hold and work perfectly with the Canon M50, which I'm going to put on it like right now. Hopefully it's going to hold and work well also with my 90D. So we will see. I'm just gonna put the M50 now and then we'll see. We have a whole set of different mounts to put your camera. The most important one is this, the L bracket, because if you put it like this, you can balance the gimbal with the camera like horizontally, but if you want to use it for Instagram stories or Facebook videos, you can mount it like this, and that goes vertically. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't do that much. So I'm just gonna mount it like horizontally. I think I was able to balance it pretty quick. It doesn't take long. Now we're going to check. I'm going to turn it on. Checking the balance. Well balanced. So you can fine-tune the axis of the gimbal, which I'm going to try to do now. It's good to go. So we got it perfectly balanced with the Canon M50. One thing I like about this gimbal is that you can control it completely from the gimbal itself. You don't actually need the app in your phone to do something. So like for example, there is a joystick on the back where you can just move it up, down, side. And when you press the trigger twice, it goes back. And also, if you click the trigger 3 times, selfie mode, and you can even vlog with it. And again, I'm gonna click twice the trigger, so it goes back. However, even though you don't need the app to do whatever you want, all possible options to get your shot, if you download the app and use the gimbal with your phone, you unlock a huge amount of extra features. For example, I have connected my phone here, and one thing I can do, I can use it as a remote control, just like I would with a drone. Can move it up, down, side, and roll. I can do whatever I want. But also I can use the mimic motion. So I'm gonna click on mimic now with the mimic motion control to move the gimbal. Pretty nice, isn't it? When you use it with or without the app, you can select and adjust the sensitivity and the speed of the controls. So we have seen that it works really well with the Canon M50. Let's see if you can hold also the Canon 90D. So now we have my Canon M50 recording. So now I'm going to put the Canon 90D on the gimbal, and I'm going to use the 10 to 18 millimeters. Here. I put the 10 to 18 millimeters because it's a lens I use all the time. So first things first, I'll bracket. It looks like it can hold also the Canon 90D pretty well. So let's see some footage I shot to show the results, how stable it is. It's just my first impressions and some samples. It's not an unboxing, it's not a technical review. It's just me being happy to use this gimbal for the first time. The sample footage is at 24 frames per second because I mean, it's a fact. When you shoot 120 frames per second in slow motion, everything looks like more smooth and stable. So if we want to see the skills, the quality of the gimbal, we have to test it at 24 frames per second. So in this first clip, I'm walking with the camera without the gimbal. In this second clip, I'm walking with the gimbal. Now I'm running or jogging, holding the camera without the gimbal. Now I jog, / run, jog, whatever, with the gimbal. Now, there's a kind of shot that I love, is when you put the camera as close as possible to the floor. Very cinematic, but in order to be cinematic, it has to be smooth. So, first clip, holding the camera without the gimbal. Now, with the gimbal. Quite a big difference. Now, there is one feature that I fell in love with, and I'll try not to use it too much, because when I like something I tend to overdo it a little bit, is the inception mode. And unlike other gimbals, with the Moza Aircross 2, you don't need the app and your phone. No, you can control it just from here, from the gimbal itself. With the button on the back, the right button, you press it 3 times and the camera sets itself upwards. From that position, you can use the joystick to the left or to the right to roll the camera clockwise or counterclockwise, 180 degrees, 360 degrees, or infinite rolling. Again, that's a very cool feature. To wrap it up, this is a great gimbal, in my humble opinion. It's good for the Canon M50. We already seen on the web, on YouTube, some videos about this gimbal with the M50. But honestly, I couldn't find anything about this gimbal with the Canon 90D. And I have to say, the question is, can it hold the Canon 90D? The answer is yes. and it does it pretty well. Is this gimbal really necessary? It depends. If you're a professional, yes. And for this price, I think it's awesome. Right now, I think it costs around 450 euros, like $500. It's worth every single cent. If you're not a professional and you just got an expensive camera, you spent all your money, well, then I think you should wait. I think you can go without for a while. I think you can still get decent footage handheld. You can improve your technique to make it as stable as possible without using a gimbal. So it depends. It depends on your goals and your budget. Okay, I really enjoyed making this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next video.